Okay, I've literally gone through multiple iterations of a mind map for this. There's your mind map. Alright, let's talk about
the Nerdfighters!
To balance out the philosophical existentialness of this video,
That's the power of love!
I'm going to insert clips between points of me singing random songs from my iPod with the word love in them.
All you need is love!
Between points, you could respond, and then actually in the comments below, in my pants and my diaphragm, actually see if you can name some of the songs based off of the tiny little lyric that I sang with the word love in it.
Love me like you do.
So the first point I want to make on this mind movie about love is the idea of merging stories and painting a human canvas. Chelsea was talking about growing pains, and Sarah was talking about meeting people and connecting with people, and connecting with many things in life. This vulnerable and curious connection causes growing pains and causes us to actually grow together and not attached to things.
How about love?
To be able to face these themes of impermanence and enjoy the connections we make while they last. The analogy that I have is everybody is born with a lottery ticket, a blank slate, a blank book, whatever you want to call it.
I wanna use your love tonight.
Our circumstances dictate how that story is told from the beginning of our life. As we grow up, maybe our canvas starts out wet, or dried, or torn, or tattered, or not with enough materials. We all don't get the equal opportunities and circumstances when we're first born, but the miracle is the life that we have.
What if our love never went away?
The ability to love from the start. The distinction I'm making there is the difference between extrinsic and intrinsic value. The portal way that is you is always there. That intrinsic value never changes. It's the extrinsic value, I think, that our society is focused on when it comes to love.
You feel the love tonight.
But as we grow with people, and Pat was talking about spending your time and energy with connecting with people, you get to paint on each other's canvases and help each other create your own canvas. It's almost like it's play. It's like a creativity game, which is on top of and the surface of that beautiful white, pure love that we're all capable of intrinsically. So these are the stories within stories that I think about.
Still the same old story, a fight for love and glory.
Earth has a story, the universe has a story, your life has a story, your life is told in stages. Some people paint on your canvas for 2 minutes.
Just because I really love you.
Some people paint your canvas for your entire life.
I never knew love before, then came you, then came you.
Some bad people do some amazing things. Chelsea was talking about growing pains. Bad people still paint on your canvas. It's sad, but you can still grow from hardship.
See it all around you, good love and gone bad.
There's a really good quote by Judy Blume that I read today that says, "Our fingerprints don't fade from the lives that we touch." Behind that realization comes a very freeing and amazing thing that we can do with our time and energy. We can have love for everything in our life.
My life is brilliant, my love is pure.
My second point, which Leia talks about on this mind map, is sort of the expression and the different degrees of love, and Sarah mentioned a lot about this too. We have the 4 different kinds of love. We have the 5 love languages. We have the different degrees of love. We have love for family, love for religion. I'll link Leia. She talked way more about that and more humorously than I did.
Last chance for love.
I think where we get caught is with dopamine, because dopamine is the thrill and the roller coaster and the honeymoon phase side of love, the eros, the romantic love, which I think is what Valentine's Day is mainly focused on. It's mainly focused on the roller coaster of love that we experience.
Don't fall in love, she's a beauty.
And that can get pretty addicting. Too much of that in excess can be damaging. And I think that's where a lot of pain is held in that kind of love.
Love her.
Balance of all these brain chemicals is normally the key, right? Dopamine fires and gets things moving, and then oxytocin keeps people together. So it's a moderation. I'm going more toward a more spiritual and oxytocin side of love.
Where is the love?
A lot of the love I'm talking about is the ability to give without expectation. Love goes beyond duality, as Sarah was saying. Love goes beyond labels. That's the kind of love I want to talk about.
The love shack is a love place where
The path and the mover, when we do the type of love of letting go, acceptance, and sort of yielding and surrendering to reality. Now, surrender is resignation. Surrender is acceptance and true compassion and love for ourselves.
All that love's about.
The next point I have on this My Movie map is actually different qualities of love. Benjamin and Rosamund Zander from The Art of Possibility define love as two people creating a context in which they want to live life together. So things like gratitude and spontaneity and presence and resilience and curiosity and compassion and trust and vulnerability and perseverance. Of being alone and being at inner peace. There's a kind of love that still emanates from people when they are completely happy and able to be alone. And this, I think, is very, very key in being able to have healthy relationships with people.
Love is an open door.
I've read from Eckhart Tolle that he says that inner peace is a combination of two sides of the same coin. The joy of being, which is formless, which is infinite, that intrinsic value I talked about, and the sadness of impermanence, which is form-related on the level of everything that changes.
They say love is sweet to see.
The merging of these two things forms an happiness and inner peace that emanates. And a great quote from Osho is, "Love comes as a shadow of your inner peace." Love is a state of being. It's nothing outside of us. It's sometimes what you know. You can grow from it when it changes how you live.
Until I'll go, gave into love, watched all the bitterness burn.
If your state of being is love and you're at peace and you can respond with life with ease and tranquility, you're sort of able to access a space in you, a space even when you're alone, called the calm pocket of water beneath the surface of the rough lake. No matter the circumstances outside, you don't give power away to the circumstances. You're able to respond from a place of compassion and love for all things. There's a really good video on being alone, and I'm going to link it below too if I can find it. Being happy when you're alone says something really, really huge about your capacity to love people.
Can't put a price on love.
Circumstances don't dictate your ability to choose happiness and feel at one with all there is. There's no clinging like we like to think about in Valentine's Day. There's no attachment. There's no non-acceptance. I really do think it has to come with all of our abilities to deal with this idea of interconnectedness with everything and impermanence.
In my life, I've loved them all.
Shows our level of awareness and our ability to love ourselves even. In a way, when you're alone, you're sort of able to dance to your own music.
If this isn't love, then why do I thrill?
That's not to say we should connect with people. It's close to 100% perfectly happy with yourself. You're comfortable in your own skin. You're alright with it. You're okay to be alone.
I love you.
The next point on this mind map is about true feeling of oneness with everything. At my core root, on the surface is friends and family and pets and things and memories and events and just people in general. At the core root, there is a true feeling of oneness and compassion and love for everything in my life. That's my core.
Bring me a higher love.
Love flows outward from this realization with form, with everything that's changing, my body, everything changing, and with the formless dimension, which is the consciousness that's emanating from here. One of my favorite examples is when Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon sees himself in the dragon. He says, "He looked at me and I saw myself." Enjoy the pebble.
And she loves me like a rock.
Don't throw it. Don't chuck it at anybody. Don't use it as a means to an end. Enjoy the pebble, because this pebble is me, or at least undergoes the same processes, including or excluding, with everything. I always go back to the thought that we're all stardust as well, because that enables me to just love everything equally.
Take me into the dawn.
I see this as sort of a happiness, gratitude, integrity. With inclusion and exclusion, I think the path we can take is always choices out of love or fear, out of including things as part of the truth, as part of the way things are, as part of what we know, or excluding things and getting a sense of separation inside of us.
Collecting your jar of hearts, tearing love apart.
And in terms of relationships, I think love is a lot about initiative and being able to engage with reality, engage with people, connect with people, include people. That's what initiative is. My last point is a simple phrase called being enough.
In the love zone, you don't have to be alone.
Being is an open concept because being applies to all that exists. You, me, the camera, the microphone, the lights, my room, everything on the planet exists. This exists. This is a degree of consciousness. This is some sort of matter form. Being enough, having that infinite intrinsic value of you being a human being, means that you are never poor little me. As much as you exclude others and you exclude yourself, you are never not lovable, valuable, and worthy of love.
Everybody loves somebody sometimes.
This is about being enough in any activity, deep down and intrinsically, not on the surface. We're not talking about society's expectations.
If only you could love me sometimes.
Like Valentine's Day, the need to be with a romantic partner to be satisfied and happy. I'm talking about intrinsic human being levelness. That never goes away. That's the kind of love I'm talking about.
I will love you unconditionally.
Sure, there are variables on top of that with Valentine's Day and degrees of love and different people and different ways of treating and different identities that we take on, mind-made identities that sort of determine the kind of language we use with people based off of intimacy. That's all surface stuff, but it's important surface stuff. It's diversity, celebrate it. But I'm talking about the love that does not exclude anything.
What is love anyway?
This is a kind of love that emanates from interconnectedness. You are biologically connected to every other human on the planet. You are chemically connected to everything on the planet Earth. And you are atomically connected to everything in the cosmos. Your skin is a bridge for the cosmos to flow through you. If that doesn't make you feel like connected to the universe, I don't know what will.
Love the one you're with. Love the one you're with.
And with this kind of love for this oneness and love for all that is and being enough, I think what comes along with it is a concept of purposelessness. Does love have to be purposeful? Or can love simply be spreading the happiness and joy and love of existence and interconnectedness and including everything?
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
That's the kind of love that I look for in my life from people. The love that's not an ego love. That's not like a love focused on money or power or greed or anything. That's a love focused on just enjoying being alive and the present moment. It's not an engineering view of the universe of everything as a means to an end. You just feel at one with everything. It's a challenging concept. As a species, when it comes to loving others, we think that love has to have a purpose, that it has to have a means to an end, that it has to do this specific thing.
Gonna tell you what you can do with my love.
But what if love is just something that flows from the source of feeling like you're connected to everything and you appreciate all of it? What if that compassion and love just flows out of you?
They're really saying, I love you.
When you're in the state of being of happy and gratitude and wanting to share all of that. That's why love can get so much about mind-made identities, I think.
And our love will rule in this kingdom we have made.
And we get obsessed with impressing people and making people fit our expectations and our mind movie identity of how somebody should be in order for us to love them, or the concept of deserving too, which just sounds so damaging.
I'm gonna love you like I'm gonna lose you.
Do this to deserve love. If your love excludes in any way, then it's not true love. And lastly, I'll share a short quote from you from Dante's. Already my desire and my will were bound like a wheel, all at one speed, by love which moves the sun and other stars. That kind of love, it's so intrinsic to everything in the cosmos that it absolutely has to connect us all together. There's a really, really awesome saying from Eckhart Tolle that stuck with me for a while. He says, "The secret to life is to die before you die." Now, not actually die, but to see that all of your identities that you create and everything on the surface that's variables is just sort of a game and sort of mind noise. Now, not a game as a means to an end to take seriously, but something to enjoy and just cherish and be present in all of the time.
Without anything but the love we feel.
Suck the life out of all of it in a good way. Just enjoy it. Inherently, sincerely enjoy it. There's no off button for our brain, and as much as our mind movie tries to make us feel like we're not enough and we don't belong, we always belong. Society doesn't like to say that we belong all the time because there's so many variables, I guess, inside of expectations by society and the way we should live and all of this. But no matter what you do on the surface, it should be love and compassion for all things, and seeing this deeply and appreciating everything with this true oneness that you feel with the cosmos, and not being a stranger and not believing you don't belong and not becoming hostile because you feel you don't belong. It's really all delusion. You belong no matter what you do.
You gotta go make it happen. Take the world in a love embrace.
And that right there is why I feel connected and happy alone. Because no matter what I do, on the surface, man, I'm doing the work of existence right now. I'm nothing special. We're all human beings, right? There's as much depth and complexity into space as there is depth down to the core of who you are.
Never could love anyone as much as
We love you.
As within, so without. So that's everything. That's all I've got for you. Thank you, NFI, once again for having me on. I hope you enjoyed all of my random singing moments to try to balance out the deep philosophical existentialness that was this video. Everything I've talked about and discussed will be down in the video description below. Check it out. Keep being you. Don't forget to be awesome. Everybody Palka and Shahik, we will see you tomorrow.